Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. This is the new season debate. Anyone got a name? It's that time again.
New season debate.
Yeah, nothing more creative. We've got nothing more creative. I'm here with Jay, Stephen, and of course Jamie Jackson of The Guardian as well. We're here to break the internet again. And part 1 of 3, we're talking about the summer transfer window and just how Manchester United have done. I'll come from a bit of a fan's perspective first. Howson. How have we done so far in the transfer window?
I think the signings that we've made, and even a couple of the ones we've let go, I'm gutted that Raphael's gone as a fan favourite.
Oh man.
But LVG didn't like him, so we've improved I think there with Damian. Schneiderlin is probably going to go on to be one of those Carrick level signings where he's just a linchpin of the team for years. Don't think it'll be this year. I think he needs to learn a little bit more. But I think long term he's going to be great. Schweinsteiger might be, even if it's only for a few years, that Roy Keane replacement that's took us 10 years to sort out in terms of leadership, in terms of fight in the middle, because we've had nothing like that. We've done it very technically for the last 10 years. We've not had that absolute nutcase in there, and I think Schweinsteiger fits that bill. But the cherry on the top might be Memphis. From what I've seen of him on pre-season, he's just got that air of expectation about him. When he gets on the ball, you sort of hold your breath a little bit thinking, what's going to happen here sort of thing, and it's been a while since I've seen that out of anybody in a red shirt, and I think he's got it, and I think with the right sort of supporting cast around him, with Mata and Herrera and Rooney, I think we're in for a treat. He's the one that I think is probably going to really stand out, and I don't think we're done yet either.
Jay?
Yeah, I mean, still, I think the one that sort of almost slips under the radar is Damian, but he's come in, he's looked comfortable already, and we needed a right back, like you said. LVG, for whatever reason, didn't rate Raphael. We all did. Yeah, we all did. But,
he's a fan favourite.
Yeah, he is. He's a nutcase. He's the sort of player that you think if we play for United, that's how we play.
That's why we don't.
Yeah, that's why we don't probably. That's why he doesn't anymore. But don't mean to be negative, but anyone that keeps Tony Valencia out of the right back position is good for me. The Schweinsteiger thing, the good thing about that was I think everyone expected Schneiderlin. We all saw it coming. I didn't see Schweinsteiger coming. I don't think many did.
He did.
To be honest with you, apart from Maka, obviously.
On our last debate show, I rewatched it before, and he pulled it out.
Well, other than Maka.
I didn't even know that. See, I just pull them out all the time.
He just names loads of players, and eventually one of them will hit.
I'm Jamie's source.
Transfer.
That's it. So the good thing about that is, like you say, it came out of the blue. Such a class player, such a different class. Watching him already, you can just tell he's a cut above. And Memphis Depay, exciting player, someone who hopefully will get the fans going. And like you just mentioned, I don't think we're done yet. I think there's more to come. I hope there's more to come because I still think we're 1 or 2 signings away from a title challenge. I really do.
Well, one interesting thing is some of these players we're discussing. He's almost replacing the signings of last summer. So Di Maria's going, Depay comes in, and you've got the 2 central midfielders, Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger. He signed Herrera and Daley Blind, who I know he's been playing as a defender, but he is. So, I'm a little bit surprised about the Herrera thing. I mean, I'm not saying he's out of the team, but I thought he'd done well towards the end of the season. So, you've gone from having kind of a bit of a, not a deficit, but a lack of central midfielders. There's been a bit of a traffic jam. And so, what I'm getting back to is, with Di Maria, he said to us, when we saw him after the Barcelona game at the team hotel in San Jose, that he wants explosive players, world-class players. He had that classic line about Ashley Young not being a Neymar. But Di Maria, I'm not saying he's a Neymar, but he is of that ilk, and he's going. And I think that's a shame that he's going because you're kind of lacking. Depay, I agree with you. Every time I see him, it's definitely right what you said. That you think what's going to happen here. He's got something about him. It didn't always work on tour, but he was trying each time.
He's got the confidence to try.
And I think Van Gaal obviously really fancies him. But what I'm interested in on Saturday is he going to play him as a number 10 because he's been playing as a number 10 all on the tour, and that's a big call, isn't it, to play a number 10 for Manchester United?
To be a left winger.
Yeah, I know.
So he centrally and looked mega.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say, in my opinion, I don't think he looks mega, but he looks like he can do it. But it's a big call to go into a.
I think we need to get Herrera into that team. I know we're talking about signings, but I think what the signings we've made has done is made it more difficult for us to. We've got a luxury in there now where we're leaving a few out, but I think Herrera needs to be the man we build that midfield around. Carrick, Schneiderlin, Schweinsteiger. Carrick and Schneiderlin are so alike. I was watching them out there playing next to each other. It was like a mirror in the middle and one player just passing the ball to each other. It was mirror image.
Which gets me something that Van Gaal probably likes.
But we need Herrera, because remember what we were saying before last season, someone to go and pick the ball up of the midfield and take it forward 5-10 yards, mix it up with Mata, Deepa and the rest of them. We've lost that with him coming out of the team.
He seems to fancy Carrick and Schweinsteiger, but aren't they very similar sort of holding players who don't necessarily bog them down?
That's been one or the other, I think.
I didn't think there was nothing dynamic in our midfield in the last game against Paris, and I think that was what cost us.
Yeah.
I was actually really disappointed with Schweinsteiger. I don't know if it's a fitness thing. I don't know if it's an adjustment thing. Like I said, maybe it's just a little bit too similar. He's doing something exactly the same as Carrick next to him, that you don't notice what he does. So maybe it needs to be one or the other. I can't see us playing Carrick, Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin all in the same midfield.
We'll talk about teams a little bit more later, but what business needs to be done now? Now I've been thinking, obviously we're going to get Pedro, it seems, coming in to replace Di Maria. I think he's a great option to have. Wealth of experience, he's of the right age, and Louis van Gaal will probably prefer someone like him to Di Maria, who's a little bit more off the cuff, although it's a bit gutting to lose such a world-class talent. Centre half, we need to get a centre half. He's been saying we might not. Is that not a worry? Daley Blind?
That is a worry, because I think all our centre half options have a little flaw to them. My favourite is Chris Smalling, but he's a bit injured. But I know it sounds crackers, but I thought he had out of our centre halves, I thought he had the best season last season. But there's a little bit of a concern about his injury record. Phil Jones, I think, has gone backwards season after season. Daley Blind, there's question marks about his pace. Perhaps he's reading the game a little bit at times, lets him down. Rojo, again, I think the jury's still out on him a little bit in terms of the Premier League. So there's all these question marks, and I think we need a solid centre back who can come in and you can say he's a starter, he's in the side no matter what. And I think what we've got at the moment is 3 or 4 centre backs. You could probably throw McNair into that, who are there or thereabouts, but not quite there.
I feel we've strengthened our fullbacks fantastically well. Darmy and Luke Shaw were covered there. Do you think Louis van Gaal's playing a game with the media by saying we're not after a centre half, and we actually are, or do you think it's being honest when he says that?
I think they are after a centre half, because he said after the PSG defeat, the last game of the tour, that he basically named the back four apart from the right-sided centre back, didn't he? He said Darmy and Shaw and Blind will play, and it's a question of who's going to play. And that was after Phil Jones had started that game, supposedly in the strongest 11. The last, because he also started. And that was a head scratcher as well, because Chris Smalling had been the captain under him, when he was standing in.
Mike.
Mike Smalling. I was there for that one. That was quite interesting. Mike had signed his new contract before Phil Jones finally did, and yet he was dropped. He didn't start those last 2 games. So, we might go on to it later, but the De Gea thing for me is a massive issue. The whole goalkeeping thing. If we're talking about defence, I just think that's not gone particularly great.
Where it seems like the word coming out of the media is that we're looking to get him gone before the season starts. Where do we go with?
Well, can I just jump in? I asked the question today because I knew I was coming on here, and apparently it's the same equation. No Ramos, no De Gea going. That's what I was told.
Is that Woodward? Is that Woodward just going, or is that a combination of Woodward and Van Gaal?
Well, how can I say this? The only way that De Gea, that the information still is Ramos. So how it's put to me.
What's the talk about Ramos's contract?
To be honest, I think the Ramos thing is a bit like Fabregas two seasons ago, where he's kind of used United, and I might be wrong, and you can, if so, fair enough. It's just an opinion, but weighing it all up. How Fabregas with Barcelona. Does he want to go to United? Oh, actually, show me some love, and I'll stay at Barcelona, which is what happened. They kind of almost use United under Moyes. Well, I think Ramos is a little bit of that. I don't know. It might still happen, but put it this way: it's been put to me that the only player they would let De Gea go from Real Madrid, and think about who else they've got there, right? The only player would be Sergio Ramos. So that's basically saying not for Cristiano Ronaldo and not for Gareth Bale. Now, there might be reasons for, that being.
Is that because we've already signed Bale? Yeah.
Well, again, I've asked that question 2 or 3 times this summer because it comes up. It's a perennial one, and let's say coming from the Bale side, no. That's what I'm being told. I think, we were saying this earlier, Bale and Ronaldo, they would love to have them every day of the week, but it's just a matter of timing. And not going back to Ronaldo, but mentioning Ronaldo, I just think they think at the moment they can't get him out of there, but also the price or the fees involved, even for United, with all that money they've got, probably isn't the right time.
Interesting. So, from pre-season, obviously, I was going to kind of answer it. I was going to move on to say, you feel with us losing the types, Di Maria, Falcao, yes, we're going to sign someone like Pedro to replace that position in the squad, but Ed Woodward is going to want a marquee signing. Now, you've mentioned Bale, Ronaldo a little bit there. Is there any other names that kind of jump out to you as someone that could be that guy?
Only Ramos, and for me, I wouldn't have Ramos as that first choice or as the marquee signing. I'm not sure Ramos is a shirt seller in the way that Woodward would assume. Although with the structure of the Adidas deal, we don't need shirt sellers, but we do need that stellar quality of the club. At the moment, Rooney is our stellar signing. He's our face of the club that we pump out around the world. If we had a Ronaldo or a Bale or someone like that, that would then start to form like a bit of a marketing team for the club, which we don't have, and it's Rooney. And Rooney, in most people's eyes, is not a top 10 world player. And as Manchester United, I think we should have someone that is viewed as that. Whether it is Bale, I think Bale is the more likely of that ilk that we could get. But as Jamie said, I don't think it's likely to happen this summer. Who other choices have you got? You got maybe Benzema, who we all touched on last year, and I actually don't think he's that great, and I don't think we're going to sign a player. He's probably in the world class bracket, but I don't think he's that superstar signing, and I don't think we're going to sign a player of that level to compete with Rooney. That's why I've been saying, someone like a B level signing of someone like Benteke's level. Obviously Liverpool are going to play him as first choice, but he would have been, or Lukaku would have been someone that we sign. I don't see us signing, not straight away, not right now, but I didn't see us signing Falcao or Di Maria. I don't see us signing that world-class player in this next 3 weeks.
Do you think we need one to challenge for the league?
Because I think we need strengthening. But if you look at last season, we got Falcao, we got Di Maria. Where are they now? Neither of them worked out. So I don't think you necessarily need a £60 million player or a 500k a week player. You need strengthening in the areas you need strengthening in. Now, yeah, you're right, we do need a striker, we do need another option. We definitely need a defender, but I don't think it necessarily has to be an £85 million Christian Gareth Bale. I just think we need to strengthen in the areas. Christian Bale, Batman, we need Batman.
Any word from the Batman camp on his potential?
I think Robin might. I'm not too sure about Batman.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much. That's it for part 1. We will move on to obviously part 2 next. So check those out. The links will be in the description below. Get your comments in below as well, and where you think Manchester United need to strengthen now, obviously, and what names you would like to see linked with the club going into the remainder of the summer. Make sure you subscribe to Full Time Devils. See you on the other side.
If he gets sort of injured, the view is he'll recover, but what do you do in the meantime? Because it could be a long injury.
He will get injured as well.
Okay.
Always gets injured.
Okay.